We are live. What is going on, everybody? I hope you guys are having a great day. Let's go ahead and switch over to my face. I think it's this button right here. But we got to talk about Terence Crawford and him being fed up with this whole who have you fought conversation. Let's see. Should he be fed up? Is there a valid reason? Let's talk about it. What is going on, everybody? Of course, we got to start off with Ep.37 with the Let's Go Champ. Thank you so much, brother. Love to see you in here every single time. We are on episode 36. It would have been better if it was episode 39. It would have rhymed. But we are on episode 36. Got to get a little bit of that seltzer water. Episode 36 of Box with Fanatico Live, where we talk all things IRL boxing. And today we're going to talk about Terence Crawford. Now, of course, that's the main kind of subject that we talk about, but there's other things we could talk about, and I'm open to the chat. Whatever you guys want to have a conversation on, we could definitely move into those conversations as well. But one thing I do want to also talk about is that Shakur Stevenson, and actually we got to start off with the Michael Buffer. I'm sorry, I almost forgot my main man over here. Hold on. My number two after Hashim.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Let's get ready to rumble is right. Let's look at the chat real quick. Hold on, let me pull it up. All right. Prince with Let's Go Champ got the trophy. Let's go. Garcia talking about Canelo number one. Yeah, he could be. You can make the argument. He lost to Bivol, so to me it's kind of, but I mean his body of work is definitely undeniable. Adrian Dones with what's up, Fanatico. David Morales was good, Fanatico, and fellow. My goodness, why can't I say that? Boxing Fanatics. Oh, I like that. It's Boxing Fanatico, and you guys are the Boxing Fanatics. I like that. I never thought about it in that way. Kudos, David Morales. All right, so Shakur Stevenson has also now he's been granted the mandatory status and the petition to push for Devin Haney to fight him has been granted. Therefore, Shakur Stevenson or Devin Haney has until July 21st to either not be undisputed anymore. The ramifications are huge, right? Because it's not just losing a world title. It's literally not being undisputed anymore. That is a big, big, big deal. So Devin Haney has the opportunity to either not be undisputed or 100% fight Shakur Stevenson. That is his ultimatum, guys. He's either not going to be undisputed or he's going to fight Shakur Stevenson. But Shakur is coming in hot because he doesn't want just to get his WBC title. He wants to be undisputed. So because he won the WBO title in the junior lightweight division, he also put in a petition for the WBO title as well, which, of course, Devin Haney holds. But if they grant him that, it's smart. A lot of people are saying, oh, well, why is he doing this? He's doing too much. He's not doing too much. You know why? He's petitioning early to be mandatory for WBO because more than likely he's looking at Devin Haney's moves. And the moves that he's seeing, they're not moves of a guy that's ready to fight him. They're moves of a guy who's going to move to 140. So what happens when Devin Haney moves to 140? The titles disperse. It's like the Dragon Balls. They're going to go everywhere. And what's going to happen? Shakur Stevenson's going to have to collect them. And he's going to have to petition. And he's going to have to try to get a mandatory status. So he's doing things early. Lock in 2 belts. He's won the WBO at junior. He's won the WBC at junior, so he's actually putting in a petition for the 2 belts that he won. That way, if Devin Haney does indeed fight Regis Prograis, which is actually looking iffy right now, believe it or not, from the recent developments. It's looking a little iffy. But anyways, if he does fight Regis Prograis, what will end up happening is that, the belts will disperse and Shakur Stevenson will get an opportunity to be quickly mandatoried for both the WBC, which has already happened, so he has that locked, and the WBO, giving him a 50% completion to road to undisputed, because he's trying to be undisputed. He wants to be undisputed somewhere, right? And what better place to be undisputed than the hot lightweight division at 135. All right, now let's talk about well, actually, let me look at the chat. Let me see what you guys are saying. ASVP TV. We're here, and if you need a mod in the chat, just let me know. I'm always here. I actually do need mods, I guess. But yeah, I'll figure it out. I'll probably put, I don't know. I might make you a mod. I might make like when we get to like episode 40. I'll start thinking about that when we get to episode 40. So far, it's been pretty tamed in my chat. I like debates. So when people come in here and they start saying stuff, I actually enjoy it. So there's a lot of people that do this kind of stuff that they don't like it, or they kind of like, oh, if you just don't think like me, I'm going to make sure you don't even come to the chat or whatever. Unless somebody's being egregious and doing ad hominem attacks, right? Or doing things like talking about, oh, you look like this or you're that, and it has nothing to do with debating boxing. I don't even care if they come in and say, oh, you a clown because you think this. If they're saying I'm a clown because I think about something related to boxing, I still let that rock. Because it's all about the debate. I like it. I love it. I love debates. That's like literally one of my favorite things. That's one of the things that I built my YouTube channels on, is debating. So I love it. That's my favorite thing. I wouldn't stop nobody from coming in voicing their opinion. I'm just more than likely going to destroy you. Nah, I'm just kidding. Yeah, it's the open floor. Anybody's welcome in here. Ball Out Mixtape 5. Let's go, Shakur. Yeah, man, a lot of people trying to clown him, man, recently because of the whole 25%. But when you look at what has actually transpired, the person who's really hungry is Shakur Stevenson. The person who's wishy-washy right now, in my opinion, is Devin Haney. And we got to see where he goes, because he said October, and remember, we left on that cliffhanger where he said October to Regis Prograis, where it looked like that's what they were setting up. Mauricio Suleiman also said by this Friday, the 21st of July, Devin Haney has to decide if he's going to choose to fight Shakur Stevenson. And if he doesn't fight Shakur Stevenson and fights Regis Prograis, which is exactly what Mauricio Suleiman says, and Mauricio Suleiman would know because Regis Prograis is the WBC champion, so he would know if that fight is getting set up. So that's what he said. It appears that was the fight that was being lined up. However, when Regis Prograis responded to Devin Haney saying October, he said, no way, I'm going to be on vacation during that time. So I don't know what's happening, man. Who is he fighting? If it's not Teofimo, if it's not Regis Prograis, who is he fighting? He still does have two other options, Rolly Romero and some other dude that I consistently forget his name. But he has that option. He has that option, right, for those belts. So we'll see what he does. But hopefully he don't go too low from, like, if it's not Shakur, if it's not Teo, this is how I have it in my mind, in the order of my mind. And what's the best thing for Devin Haney to do? The number one choice, Teofimo Lopez at 140. The number two choice, Shakur Stevenson. The number three choice, Regis Prograis. If he goes lower than that, is gonna kill me. The wild card choice that kind of trumps everything is Tank Davis, but that ain't gonna happen. We know that's not gonna happen. So don't even think about that. It ain't happening. So that's my three of the realistic choices, right? Teofimo is the number one person I would love to see him fight. Shakur Stevenson, number two, and then Regis Prograis. I hope he doesn't go lower than a Regis Prograis pick, because Regis Prograis is already kind of weird to me. It's already kind of weird to me. Houston Scott, hit the like, bro. Guys, hit the like, please. We're going to start the show. Hit the like. We only got 7 likes, but we got a bunch of you guys in here. Hit the like. It sends the stuff out. It helps the algorithm. It's, you know what I'm saying? It churns. It starts turning the cogs for the channel in terms of in real life boxing, because that's what we want to do. We want to be able to bring unbiased analysis to in real life boxing. That's important. I see the likes going up. I love you guys, man. You guys are awesome. Let's go ahead and hit the Michael Buffer for that. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much. And if you haven't subscribed, please do so. Adrian Dones, just like the Dragon Balls. Good analogy, man. Everybody grew up on Dragon Ball Z. I grew up on Dragon Ball Z. My brother grew up. All my friends grew up on Dragon Ball Z. So we know what it is. You get all the Dragon Balls. You use them, and then you got to go find them again. And they go all over with. Oh no, in the same world. They go all over in the same world. I remember different worlds have different Dragon Balls. All right, here we go. Who did Crawford fight? This is the conversation, though. This is the conversation. The conversation is, does that even matter? Does your resume actually even matter when you can beat people that have better resumes than you? Is it resume, or is it athleticism? Or is it being old? Or is it being young? Or what is it? Because just because you have a better resume doesn't mean that you win the fight. And I think a lot of people are trying to hang their hat on the better resume being the definitive thing that's going to give Errol Spence Jr. the win. But let's take a look. Let's switch over, and I'll come back to the comment section after this. But let's switch over. Let's switch over to Bud Crawford in this interview by PPV.com. Let's switch over. Let's do the picture-in-picture real quick, and let's see what he says in regards to resume. Because I'm sure that he's probably tired of like people telling him, hey, the resume and your resume. What about Errol's resume versus your resume? Is your resume better? I think yours is better. But some people think Errol's is better. No, I think Errol's is better. But some people think yours is better, which makes no sense because you ain't who have you fought. This is his response to resumes. And let's see if it's a legitimate thing, because that's this channel is about. I love debate. So when somebody brings a good argument, we gotta dissect it. We gotta unpack it. We gotta talk about it. So let's see. Here we go.
I respect Errol Spence Jr. as a fighter, but the resume don't mean anything in my eyes because, to be honest, Sean Porter have a better resume than both of us. It really doesn't matter. Hey, this is Terence Crawford. Don't miss my fight, July 29th.
Oh, we not missing. You don't even have to tell us, Terence. We're not missing your fight. But is that cap or is that facts? This is our caps or cap or facts. Cap or fact. Cap or fact session right now. Is that cap or is that facts? Because Sean Porter does have a better resume than both of them. Probably put together. He has a better resume than both of them probably put together. And if you guys don't believe me, we could just look at Sean Porter's resume. I have it up here. You guys can't see it, but it's fine. I'll break it down to you guys. My man has beaten Devin Alexander in his prime, undefeated Devin Alexander, by the way. He beat Paulie Malignaggi. He fought a prime Kell Brook, although he lost. He fought a prime Kell Brook. He beat Adrian Broner, fought a prime Keith Thurman and lost in a close decision. He beat Andre Bertos, Adrian Granados, Danny Garcia, in which he beat him. And he beat Dennis Ugas, as well as fighting Errol Spence Jr. and Terence Crawford. He got a better resume than both of them put together. He got a better resume than both of them put together. So if Sean Porter got a better resume than both of them put together, yet both Errol Spence Jr. and Terence Crawford beat Sean Porter. Does resume matter in the sense that that's a thing that you could use to predict who's going to win the fight or who's going to lose the fight? Let me know, guys. Let me know. Derek Scott, Haney going to 140. He don't want Shakur or Tank. Loma exposed him. Listen, that fight was very close. I definitely don't expect him to fight Lomachenko again. I don't see any reason for him to do it. I know Lomachenko fans want him to do it, and Devin Haney haters want him to do it. But really, in my opinion, he don't need to do it. He defended his title. He didn't really win the titles or anything. He defended it against Lomachenko. So he's all right. He don't need for what? Why? Why do it? If he does it, I wouldn't be mad at him. If he doesn't do it, I wouldn't be mad at him. Let's put it like that. Ball Out Mixtape 5. These EJ fans saying Bud has too much muscle and he looked tired in the workout and he's looked slow. Oh my God. Guys, when you want to see something, you're going to see whatever you want, especially in boxing. Especially in boxing. If you see somebody hitting the bag, they could be hitting the bag the exact same way they've been hitting the bag their entire life or the entire time that they've been pro. And people will still be like, yo, he looking like he's getting slow. Or people will be like, yo, he's looking like he's going to come in ready, son. Look how he's hitting that bag. Oh my gosh, I've never seen him this ready in my life. He looks so ready. Look how he's hitting the pass. Look how he's hitting the bag. And then when you do side by sides of every time he ever hit the bag or the pads or whatever, any fighter, it's the same. It looks exactly the same. You understand there's no mental pressure. There's so much concentration and focus on they don't have to focus on defense or nothing. They're just hitting a bag, right? They could just do it. Like there's no restrictions or limitations. So they're going to look as exceptional as possible in those scenarios. And they're going to be very consistent because they do it over and over and over. Twitch fibers, twitch muscle fibers, they're all going to be the same because they've done it so much. Muscle memory is the same. So they've done it so much. So I never understood when people look at stuff like that and then they're like, here we go. He's slow now. You could tell. Look how he's hitting it. I bet you if you get those clips of Terence Crawford hitting the bag, he's going to look the same as when he did it when he was fighting Gamboa. I promise you. Find the clips. They're going to look the same. Find the clips. They're going to look the same. Shakur beats Haney. Yeah, I definitely have Shakur beating Haney. To me, Shakur Stevenson is like the best fighter in boxing that we don't know that we don't know yet. That we don't have the physical proof of. Like all the circumstantial evidence in my eyes makes Shakur probably the best fighter. His ceiling is there is no ceiling. That thing goes to the sky. So when he proves it, I think it'll validate that thought process that I have about Shakur. But I do think I have a sneaking suspicion. I can't say for sure. Definitely not. If I was to put him on the top 10 pound for pound list, I'll definitely put him in the low numbers because he got to do more, obviously. But I have a sneaking suspicion that he might be the best fighter that we have in boxing. Hashim 47, I'm going facts. Hey, look, it's looking like facts. We got Fabricio Pauletti 10. Fabricio Pauletti 10. Facts. It ain't cap, it's facts. Because he does have a better resume. I mean, it's hard to argue that he doesn't have a better resume. In my opinion, he has a better resume than both of them combined. And I'm going to say something regarding that as well. Real quick. Hold on. Let's see over here. Paul in the house. What's going on, brother? How you doing? Fanatico, resume has always mattered, especially to fans. I think when fans are invested, resume matters. Okay, that's fine. I understand that, Paul. But when both of them have fought someone with a better resume and both of them beat that person, what does that say for the prediction element of simply using a resume as the only tool to predict what's going to happen with the fight? That's my point that I'm trying to make in this situation. Using just that doesn't really, it falls flat because they've beaten Sean Porter, who has an amazing, especially at 147, an insanely better record than these guys. He fought a prime Kell Brook. He fought a prime Errol Spence. He fought a prime almost everybody. He fought a prime Keith Thurman. He fought Adrian Broner. Maybe not in his prime, but he fought an Adrian Broner, right? He fought a bunch of people. He fought Paulie Malignaggi. He fought a lot of people. So I don't know, there are people that, because Crawford has a lot of these tools and a lot of these different things, they're not like, you know what I'm saying? They're using just the resume element to create an argument for Errol Spence. When there's other legitimate arguments for Errol Spence to win, like his volume and how crazy that is, his engine, how crazy that is. So there's a lot of other things. All I'm saying is, I'm not talking about the fighters. I'm talking about the arguments that people are using. So hopefully that you understand that. We got King. Hold on, I gotta quickly skip little because me and King Juice, man, we go back, man. We go way back. That's my brother right there. What's going on, King Juice? Great to have you here, brother. Great to have you here. I know you're excited about this fight because we've talked about this fight in the past. It's actually finally happening. We're only next week. That's the week that it goes down. So, and we have 2 super fights all in 1 week. 2 super fights in 1 week. It's insane. It's insane. I get you. All right. Thank you, brother. Thank you. All right, let's go. Fabricio Pauletti, 10. Canelo had a better resume than Bivol. Cap or fact? This is cap or fact. Did Canelo have a better resume than Bivol? Cap or fact? I want to say fact for 500 because that's exactly what it is. It's facts. It's facts. He had an insanely better resume than Bivol. He had a massively better resume than Bivol, but he got outboxed because skills and tool sets. That's a big deal. That's a real big deal. People need to fall back. People need to fall back on the fact that on this whole resume conversation and using that as the only thing. Because I see a lot of people default to that argument when it comes to a lot of boxers. They're using that argument for Shakur Stevenson. That's what they said before Shakur Stevenson fought Oscar Valdez. And even Jamel Herring. I know it's crazy to think now, but they were saying that before he fought Jamel Herring. Oh, he ain't never fight nobody like a Jamel Herring. Oh, this is going to be tough for him. He don't know what he got himself into. He bit off more than he could chew. They were saying that. And look what happened. He did a Floyd Mayweather Gotti-esque performance. The losses to major stars boost a boxer's resume. So Mike Tyson and Chop Chop have great resumes. But it helps with your experience. It helps with your experience. Like having somebody, because it is on their resume. They didn't win, but they fought an elite fighter. That helps with their ability to continue to learn, to continue to fight experience, to gain that experience, that XP, right? That real life XP. So fighting an Errol Spence, you definitely get a lot of knowledge from that, right? Fighting somebody like a Kell Brook in his prime, you get a lot of knowledge from that. Now, does it mean that that gives him like props to say, oh, I got it? No, but even if you remove those people to say that, to predict that he's going to beat somebody else, he still beat a Adrian Broner. He still beat a Paulie Malignaggi, right? He still beat who else, man? This man beat a bunch of people. He still beat a Dennis Ugas, right? A younger Dennis Ugas, or Dennis Ugas, who beat the Manny Pacquiao. An older one, but he still beat Manny Pacquiao. Danny Garcia, he beat Andre Berto, right? So he still got a bunch of people that he did beat on top. Devin Alexander. That was his homecoming. I remember they were pushing Devin Alexander as the next superstar. I didn't even know who Sean Porter was. Watching Devin Alexander on HBO. And they were like, damn, this dude is amazing. He's pop, 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 pop. He came up against Sean Porter and it was a wrap. It was over. And then I was like, who's this Sean Porter guy? And ever since then, he's just been beating people. He Paulie Malignaggi. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's been going crazy. So, yeah, he's a beast. He's a beast. He has a beast record. All right, let's pull this up real quick. Waking up at 7 a.m. for Inoue. Yo. The event. I'm sorry. I don't know if I'm going to watch the event. I don't know if I'm going to be able to watch the event. The event starts at, what did they say? What did they say? What was the egregious thing that they said? 4 a.m. in the morning. I feel for you guys in the UK now. I feel for you guys in the UK now. I know that it sucks. It sucks in the UK because all these mega fights, yeah, it'd be like 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning. Y'all gotta go to sleep and set your alarm clocks for like 3, or y'all stay awake and then break night or something. I don't know, but it'll be really tough for me. But yo, the event starts at 4 a.m. The event start at 4 a.m. 4 a.m. I'm not watching the event, bro. I'm just watching Inoue versus Fulton. That's it. I'm just watching Inoue versus Fulton. Oh my gosh. But yeah, man. It's crazy. It's crazy that it's 7 a.m. But I don't mind it. Sometimes, you know what? I actually like when boxing's in the morning every now and then, because it's like a different feeling to see the sun out. And then there's boxing, right? Like bright early in the morning, there's boxing on TV and a good boxing fight too. Imagine that, Inoue versus Fulton on TV, but the sun's out. It's like this cognitive dissonance that doesn't really feel right, but it doesn't feel wrong, but it doesn't feel right. It's a weird feeling, but I enjoy it. So, but every once in a while, just sprinkle it every once in a while, because really the most important thing is us getting it at night, because that's when we could get the people come over and the parties and all that stuff when it's at night. So don't do too many of these, please. not too many of these. Yes. Oh, I guess so. I guess you agree with me. Thank you, Poe. Thank you. Garcia, yes, Canelo is the greatest. Canelo's the greatest of all time, or the greatest fighter now. Garcia said facts. Adrian Jones says facts. In terms of this is about the Canelo versus Bivol. Canelo having a better resume. Oh, and you're saying yes about Canelo having the better resume. Okay. Don Davis, what's going on, brother? What's up? Garcia, Bivol only beat Canelo 7-5 and beat undefeated Zurdo. I personally, and I don't know if it's gonna make Garcia feel bad, I scored it like almost a lopsided decision for Bivol, because to me it was like Bivol was clearly outboxing Canelo throughout most of that fight. I think that was the scorecards because he's fighting Canelo. So it's like, it's not so much as it's just that he's a star, right? So if you're a star, you kind of really have to sometimes take those rose-colored glasses off of the judges. And the only way to do it is to overwhelm the fighter. And I think that Bivol, I think it was a lopsided win for Bivol. But it's like, hey, listen, you can't always be better than everybody, and like, you know what I'm saying? Like, Canelo beats most people. Sometimes one or two fighters may just have your number. That's it. One or two fighters might just have your number. I agree with what you said about Shakur. He got all the talent. I believe he may be the only one that could get Tank. Yeah, that would be a mega super fight, because Tank got all the tools you need. And I used to be a little bit more critical of Tank's abilities. But over time, the fact that he's so consistent with getting that shot to get you out of there, You don't do that by accident. You don't do that by accident. And if you have one punch, that's one thing. But the fact that he has so many ways to get you out of there, it just shows that he knows exactly what he's doing and he pinpoints when he wants to get you out of there. He's fighting you in his head, which is why he doesn't throw that many punches. And the fact that he doesn't throw that many punches makes it more viable for those punches to land, because you're not building a rhythm of what he's doing. You're just thinking that you have a good aggressive style against him, and you never know when he's finally going to pop. And then he does, and it is almost always on the money. It's almost always on the money. So I think, and then he has incredible athleticism. So that all keeps him alive until he figures out that punch he wants to throw. And then he throws that punch and then it's a wrap. So I've given him a little bit of flack before, but I would say that he is pretty skilled in there. And I think that of all the fighters that Shakur Stevenson fights, I think the person that would give him the most trouble and be the most threat, the biggest threat, is a Tank Davis. However, who has Tank Davis fought? Oh, the resume question comes back in the equation. Who has Tank Davis fought? Does that even matter? As Terence Crawford says, does that even matter? See, to me, it doesn't matter with Tank. It doesn't matter with Tank. Because he's beating these people so well in terms of how he gets them out of there that it might not matter. It might not matter. He shows his skills. Bivol beat Canelo 9-3. I don't get why people say 7-5. I think it's based off of the scorecards that they put out there. It's based off of the scorecards that we saw. Facts for 5,000. There we go. Facts for 5,000. Unless they mean literally, because this judge did say 7-5. These judges. No, that's what they're saying. Like, they're going by what the judges say. A lot of times the judges are that get out of jail free card. They get out of jail free cards to a lot of people. It's like, I'm gonna use what the judge says, even though, I mean, if people used what CJ Ross said when she scored Canelo versus Mayweather, a draw, by the way. A lot of people forget that fight where Mayweather completely demolished Canelo. That judge said, no, you didn't. It's a tie fight. If people go off of that, there could have been people, there could be people now that live among us that's just like, you know, that fight was a draw, right? I saw it just like CJ Ross. Don't hang your hat on these judges, man. Not to say they're corrupt or nothing, but they're old and they don't always make the right choices. Don Davis, just like Canelo became Canelo after he got schooled by Floyd. Yeah, I mean, I feel like Canelo always had good head movement. One of the number one clips that's used to show that Canelo has really good head movement, and a lot of times they're like, look what he's learned off of Floyd, was versus Austin Trout. But he fought Austin Trout before he fought Floyd. But you can't take away the experience that he gained from Floyd, but I don't think that created the slick fighter that he is. He's slick with the head movement. He's still cement feet to me, but he's definitely more judicious with his punches. He has better punch selection since the Floyd fight, because with the Floyd fight, he looked a little bit more like all over the place. But after Floyd, and then just a little bit, you know, a few more fights after Floyd, like when he started getting into the Gennady Golovkin 2 kind of range, he started really upping his game in boxing. He has a lot of experience. The man's been pro since he was a 15-year-old kid. I always wake up early for good boxing events. Prince, I already know, man, that UK. Prince, you steal fights? Why? No, wait. Oh, hey. We're not stealing the Bud versus Errol Spence fight, are we? Please tell me we're not stealing that fight, man. Remember, the only way you vote in boxing is with your wallet. So if you never pay for a pay-per-view, pay for this one, please. Let's get this to 1 million pay-per-view buys. Let's get it to 1 million. If you get this fight to 1 million, I guarantee you guys, we will get every fight we ever wanted. Who you want to see fight? Tank and who? Tank and Devin Haney will get that fight. Tank and Shakur will get that fight. Tank and Lomachenko will get that fight. Teofimo Lopez, Devin Haney will get those fights. Prove to the world, prove to the boxing world that we'll pay for it, and they'll prove to us that they can make the fights. We got to pay for the big ones. If you don't want to pay for the small ones or whatever, that's your prerogative. I pay for all of them because I support the sport. But if you don't pay for this one, you definitely, it's like you're shooting yourself in the foot as a boxing fan. You just said something better, toolbox, which is what I believe will be the difference for Bud to win the 29th. Yeah, Bud has, to me, a deeper tool set. He just has a deeper tool set than Errol Spence. What Errol Spence has is this insane engine that doesn't stop. He has the highest output in the welterweight division, average in terms of punches thrown. So he'll continue to punch, and he will never get tired. And that's deadly when you're as accurate as he is, the angles that he sets up, the different ways he rotates and moves and manipulates your body through clinching. And then he's never tired. That adds another element. He has an insane engine. And I think that's what's going to be his calling card, because that's what he's been doing. That's what got him to where he is now. But I think Terence Crawford has a little bit more finesse than that. It's not just, nonstop punching. There's also, other things there's setups and things that Crawford does that are like 3, 4, 5 steps ahead of his opponent. Let me see what King Juice said. Hold on. Let me go real quick over here. I've seen King Juice. I don't want him. While there are several different ways for Bud to win, I'm locking in Errol. My man still is going for Errol Spence. You gotta love the consistency. Can't see anyone fighting at 147 and below stopping him from being a bully. Okay. That's a thing I will say. Because of his engine, he is one of the better bullies. He is one of the better bullies in the sport. But I don't think that's going to be enough for Bud Crawford. I really don't think that's going to be enough. I think Bud Crawford is still going to find ways. I mean, Sean Porter is a bully, right? And he was trying to bully Terence Crawford, but Terence Crawford still found a way. He still found a way. And I think that the thing with Terence Crawford is that he is the best finisher in the entire sport. Better than Tank Davis, in my opinion. If he sees that you are hurt, even in the slightest, that moment that happened with Dennis Ugas where he's like, oh, whoa, what happened? What's going on? Where's my mouthpiece? He's gone. So I think in that situation, if anything happens with Errol Spence, if any like chink in his armor is a wrap, Terence Crawford's going to finish him. I mean, Sean Porter had never been knocked out ever. And Terence Crawford hurt him, and it was over. There was no coming back. Bud can catch Errol coming in and get rocked or KO, can sit in the pocket and catch the counter, and can punish Errol if he reaches like he did versus Ugas. Yeah. One of the coolest thing about this fight is that it is a 50-50 fight on paper. I just feel that Terence Crawford will be able to win this fight against Errol Spence. And I think that Terence Crawford will knock him out. If Errol Spence doesn't get knocked out, that's actually a moral win for Errol Spence, because Terence Crawford has literally knocked every single person out at 147. So that might be, I hope that doesn't go the route like after like halfway through the fight, he decides, okay, I just don't want to be another knockout victim. And then he just kind of turtles up. I hope that doesn't happen. But even turtling up, he finds he has great punch selection. Terence Crawford he got it all. It's hard for me to bet against Terence Crawford when Terence Crawford just has such a deep tool set. Tank weight drained Ryan. I mean, I feel like there's stipulations that help so many fighters in so many different situations, but people overcome them, right? People overcome them. Floyd Mayweather had to go through a million stipulations with Oscar De La Hoya. But we're not sitting here saying, oh, Oscar beat him because he made him wear 12-ounce gloves, or he made him fight in a small ring, or because he made him fight at 154, or because even though Floyd fighting at 154 is actually hilarious. It's actually hilarious. My man, when he weighs in for a 154 fight, you know how much he weighs? He'd be weighing like 150, 149. And then the day of the fight, poor guy, the day of the fight, he lost weight. when they do the day in weigh in, he like 148, 147. He back to welterweight because his body can't hold all that weight just like that when he's training aggressively. His body just can't because he's so small. But guess what? That didn't matter. The skills is the most important thing, period. Skills is the most important thing. Ryan Garcia was making 135 for most of his career. For a lot of his career, he was making 135. He did 140 one time. Now he's just all of a sudden can't even make 137 or whatever it was, 136 or whatever the catch weight was. Nah, come on. I think he was all right. He was all right. He could have fought him at 140, no rehydration clause. He could have, but hey, look, it's whatever, man. They didn't fight that way, and that's how it went. So we can't change the past. Same way we couldn't change De La Hoya's demands for Floyd, but Floyd still found a way. Fighters still find a way, no matter what. I just wish the top and most popular boxers would fight each other. F trying to protect records. We want entertainment and at the highest level. Yeah, 100%. 100%. I don't even care about people having undefeated records. I really don't. Sean Porter is a perfect example of somebody not having an undefeated record but still doing his thing. He's a perfect example of that. And there's other fighters that they lose, but they come back and they come back stronger and they come back better. All right, losing is not the be all end all. I prefer that people just fight each other. Lomachenko's a perfect example. He lost his second fight ever. He lost his second fight ever. And look at how much he's done since that loss. And then he also lost to Teofimo, but you know, look at the amazing fight he put up against Devin Haney. If we would have just said, when he lost to Orlando Salido back in his second fight, we would have never got this amazing fight, which, by the way, that fight was insane. Devin Haney versus Lomachenko was an insane fight. And we would have never got a fight like that if we would have just said, he sucks because he lost. Losing is not be all end all, but a lot of people put a lot of stock in that for some reason. And I think it's because Floyd was an anomaly, right? He was an anomaly. Like when people say, oh, Floyd is undefeated because he ain't never fought nobody, that is super cap. Floyd has one of the greatest resumes of all time. I said it. He has one of the greatest resumes of all time. Now, here's the thing with boxing. It's so riddled with subjectivity that people can say anything about anybody. Oh, yeah, he got a great resume because he fought Mosley when he was old. Or he fought Canelo when he was young. Or he fought De La Hoya when he was over the hill. Or he fought Cotto after he lost to Manny Pacquiao. Or he fought Ricky Hatton but really, he got one of the greatest resumes of all time and still was undefeated. My man fought the fighter of the decade and won the fight. He fought fighter of the decade and won the fight. Manny Pacquiao. He beat Canelo. He beat Oscar De La Hoya. He beat Shane Mosley. He beat Miguel Cotto. He beat Zab Judah. Right? Like, the dude beat Maidana twice. Maidana, who took out Victor Ortiz. Maidana, who took out undefeated Adrian Broner in his prime. Floyd Mayweather got one of the best records of all time, one of the best resumes of all time. I don't want to hear it. He was an anomaly. He wasn't undefeated because he was ducking and dodging and trying to trick people and all this stuff. He was undefeated because he was that good. And people just need to start accepting that. He was just that good. How much time has passed? We need more time to pass. Because people hated Muhammad Ali even worse than they hated Floyd Mayweather during Muhammad Ali's reign. It was only after his reign that he got the props and he got the flowers. Has time passed enough for us to finally all collectively give Floyd Mayweather his flowers? I don't know. But hopefully that happens soon. All right, let me go. I gotta skip. Oh my goodness, I'm actually so delayed on the comments. Let me skip forward. Let's see. If that mouthpiece goes, Errol would fold. If that mouthpiece goes, Errol will fold. We have to do it with the Ali boys. Yeah, man. If that happens again, although did y'all see All Access? I love All Access. You guys watching All Access? That's my favorite of all of those 24/7 shows. All Access does it better than the creators of HBO 24/7. They do it way better. Yo, he's getting a new one put in. Somebody's designing it, so he's putting that dude's entire business on the line. His entire business is on the line because if that mouthpiece falls out off of Errol Spence's mouth, is a wrap. Is a wrap. But he said that he thought, which this actually makes a lot of sense, but he needs to stop being so insecure about his teeth because he's fighting. You're in the middle of a fight, bro. Forget about your teeth. But it was glued into his teeth because they never redid the mold. So, and then he got the new teeth from the car accident because he destroyed his teeth from the car accident. So they never redid the mold, which is crazy. They should have done that. I mean, the dude is like a high top level boxer. Like you should have been, you know what I'm saying? Like you should have been changed his mouth guard. But whatever, it was glued in. So when they got knocked out, or Dennis knocked it out of the glue that was on the teeth. So he actually thought all his teeth came out. And he was embarrassed. He thought he was going to be embarrassed and his teeth, like without no teeth or whatever. So that was his number one concern. He even said on All Access, I didn't even care if he would have knocked me out right then and there. I felt like I needed to get my teeth back in my mouth. That's not a good sign mentally. He needs to not care about nothing. He needs to be like, oh, you knocked my tooth out? I don't care. He needs to be like Mankind when he fought The Undertaker in Hell in a Cell. And his teeth went in his mouth and came out through his nose, and he was still fighting because he ain't care. He need that energy, but in boxing. That's the energy he needs, but in boxing. Let me see. I don't believe in weight bullying. You don't believe in weight bullying? I just feel like in boxing, there's so many different things and stipulations and weights and stuff like that. And I do think that we also put a lot of stock in weights in terms of like when people are like 2 divisions below. When you 2 divisions below, that's like less than 10 pounds. That's like less than 10 pounds. So to me, it's not that big of a deal. Like skills is going to be way more important. But people put so much stock into, like the whole Jermell versus Canelo. People are putting so much stock into Jermell having to come up from 154 to fight Canelo. It's like, yo, it's not that big of a deal. It's not that big of a deal. Don't be surprised if Jermell does well. This is actually a win-win for Jermell anyways. The pressure's not even on his shoulders. The pressure's on Canelo's shoulders. Because if Canelo loses to Jermell, there's literally 0 excuses available. He's going to check his pockets. There's going to be no excuses. None. The only thing he could do is say something like, oh, in camp, I hurt my shoulder, which is like the go-to for a lot of boxers. But there's nothing that he could say in terms of the format of the fight itself. Because Jermell's the one that's going up. And he's beating the likes of a Kovalev at light heavyweight. So there's no excuses. I think that lack of pressure, his belts are not on the line. Jermell's belts are not on the line. Canelo's belts are on the line. There's way more pressure on Canelo. Trust me. So I think he'll be fine. I don't be surprised if we get a great performance from him. He's only been off for a 1 year. Canelo fought in May and in September. So Canelo got like 2 fights in front of him. 2 fights in front of him. He'll be all right. Terence Crawford has always been a welterweight, 147. No, he has not. Terence Crawford has not always been a welterweight. Terence Crawford was the undisputed champion at 140. So he was not always a welterweight. He was actually one of the first undisputed champions in a long time. I think since Jermaine Taylor, which was a long time ago, that he captured undisputed at 140, and now he's trying to capture it at 147. So no, he's actually Terence Crawford is actually a small 147. He's actually a small 147. I think they interviewed him the other day, like a week ago, And he's like, bro, I only got like 3 pounds left, and I'm there. While Errol Spence is like, he's trying to lose the weight because Errol Spence is a big welterweight. That's just where he fights to feel his best. That's just where he fights to feel his best. Yeah. I mean, at 147, he could train and focus on training, not focus on losing weight. That's a big deal. Jermell could train on fighting and not focus so much on losing weight. That's a big deal. That people don't talk about how much of an advantage that gives people as well. That's also an advantage for people coming up, going up. Skills pay the bills. Exactly. Never watched him fight Orlando in his second fight, but from what I've heard, allegedly Orlando was fighting super dirty. But it doesn't matter if somebody's fighting dirty. Because if he was fighting dirty, but the referee ain't do nothing and you still lost on the scorecards, you still lost. It's not like you could. That was a big learning experience for him because he realized it's not like the Olympics. It's not like the amateurs. You can't just be there and tell everybody, look how dirty he is. If they're like, nah, I don't think it's that dirty. I don't really see what you're seeing or feeling. I don't know. And I'm the official. You're not gonna get nothing out of it. It's not the officials. It's not up to the official to make the fight the most comfortable fight for you. It's up to you. You know who was fighting even dirtier than Orlando Salido? And you know what I love about Floyd Mayweather is that he's the easiest person to reference for actually everything because he literally went through everything. This man went through everything other than a knockdown. This man gone through everything, or a knockout or a loss. But other than those 3 things, he's literally gone through everything. Maidana won. He was kneeing Canelo, Floyd Mayweather. And Floyd versus Maidana 2, he was biting Floyd Mayweather. He was fighting dirty. They was even doing the thing. You ever notice when trainers do the thing when they're like, yo, you need a... And they go in the fighter's ear. When they're going in the fighter's ear, they're telling them the craziest things ever. They're like, yo, you need to low blow him 5 times in a row and then hit him with an uppercut. If you need to throw a knee in there, throw a knee in there. All right? He's moving his neck a little bit. I need you to elbow his neck. Try to get his esophagus. If you get his esophagus and dislodge it, then go for his nuts. Then he can't think. He got to think about the neck and the nuts. He don't know what to do. He's going to lose circulation to his head. From there, you try to rock. They're telling them the crazy. I'm sure it's not that crazy, but they're telling them the craziest thing in the world. Because they don't want the cameras to hear it, the microphones to hear it, when they're whispering in their ear. And that's what they were doing with Maidana. They kept whispering in his ear, yo, I need... And we didn't know what they were saying. But they were like, listen, this is your moment. Fight dirty if you have to fight dirty. So fighting dirty, man, you can overcome that. It's up to you. You could overcome that. He left before fighting Thurman. Yo, that joint makes me laugh every time I hear it. The man done fought Mosley, Canelo, Oscar De La Hoya, Cotto, Maidana twice. The fighter of the decade, Manny Pacquiao, Juan Manuel Marquez, Zab Judah. The list goes on and on. He fought the most world champions in a row in the history of the sport. Beat the most world champions ever. But hey, you ducked Thurman. You see? You're a duck. What? This is why I'm saying, like, when you're a boxing fan, if you don't like somebody, you can do whatever. You can say whatever you want. You can figure out a way to not like Floyd and discredit him when he has the greatest resume of all time. He fought the greatest fighters and he came out clean, and he holds the best undefeated record of all time after retiring. You could do that for anybody. No one's safe. Nobody's safe. It don't matter who you are. You're either going to fight somebody too old or too young. You're never going to perfectly fight them when they're ready to go. I can name 20 fighters that Floyd never fought. But then I can name a bunch that he did. I can name, he fought Diego Corrales when Diego Corrales was like pound for pound number 2 in the world. Or pound for pound number 3 undefeated. Taller, heavier, longer arms than Floyd Mayweather. had all the physical attributes, and Floyd demolished him. Of course you could name fighters that he never fought because he can't fight everybody. That's why the new rise of being undisputed has happened, because it's to try. They learn from the Floyd thing, and they're trying to make sure they win every single title. But back when Floyd was fighting, winning all the titles in a division was not prestigious. It was winning in multiple divisions that was considered prestigious. Manny didn't win all the titles. Manny didn't fight everybody. Manny just did an unprecedented 8-division run. Multiple divisions was popular. Oscar De La Hoya, same thing. I think Oscar De La Hoya did 5 divisions or 4 divisions. Floyd Mayweather did 5 divisions. I got to catch up, man. Okay. You know what? I got to skip all this. I got to try to get closer to the thing, because if not, you guys are going to be too delayed or too far behind. Let's go over here. Let's see. Hit him in the esophagus, then hit him in the nuts. Bro, I'm telling you, they were telling him the craziest things, bro. They were telling him the craziest things. That's the only time you whisper in boxers' ears as a trainer. That's the only time. You know who also whispered in their ears? Zab Judah's father. right before Zab Judah hit him with the uppercut to the nuts and then the downward hammer fist, whatever he did to the back of Floyd Mayweather's neck. Go watch the fight. Right before Zab Judah did that, his dad was like, yo, you... And then he's like, I got you. And then what happened? Bow, boom. Right after that. Sometimes you gotta fight dirty, man, because Floyd was so annoying. Like, to us, he wasn't annoying because we were on the outside looking in. Or to, I guess if you were a Floyd Mayweather hater, he was annoying, but he wasn't annoying. he was annoying to fighters. Don Davis, nah, you just a troll hater. It's okay to give people... Wait, Garcia is saying that y'all worship... But didn't you saying Canelo is the greatest and Floyd Mayweather fought and beat Canelo when Canelo was undefeated? Canelo had not lost. I think he only had a draw in his record. Canelo had... he had a draw in his record. He had a very similar record to Floyd's. And then Floyd beat him, and Canelo was bigger than Floyd. And Canelo came in at like 164 pounds the day he rehydrated to an insane amount. There was no rehydration clause with Canelo Alvarez. He rehydrated to an insane amount, and Floyd lost weight, and Floyd still beat him. So he beat the guy that you feel that is the greatest, yet you think that he's not good? That's a little confusing to me, Garcia. It's a little confusing to me. ASPV TV, what happens if Canelo actually runs through this gauntlet? Charlo, David, then the other guy, I forget his name, but the one that wants to fight Jamal. The one that wants to fight Jamal? The one that wants to fight Jamal or Jamel? Because Tim Tszyu wants to fight Jamel. What does that do for Canelo if he wins? That makes Canelo, if not the best, the second best in the world, depending on what's going to happen with Terence Crawford and Errol Spence Jr. If Canelo does that, like if he beats David Benavidez, you got to put him back up in the top 3, in my opinion. You got to put him back up in the top 3. 100%, you got to put him back up there. People seem to pick sides with Mayweather instead of just staying neutral. Yeah. I don't know why. You know what? I do know why. Because he pissed so many people off. So many people wanted to see him lose. So many people. That was his whole brand. His whole brand was, you hate me so much, you want to see me lose, I don't lose, so you're coming to the next fight. And I'm going to keep and rinse, repeat, rinse, repeat, rinse, repeat. That was his whole brand. So he did that for so long, there's people that can't get over that. There's people that still cannot get over that. I'm not even a crazy Floyd fan. I'm just pragmatic. There was a bunch of names going around that were nobody when Floyd was fighting. Yeah, like a Keith Thurman was not the Keith Thurman that we found out he was gonna be or whatever when Floyd Mayweather was there. He was good, but he wasn't like this insane, crazy, like if Manny didn't beat Floyd, if Canelo didn't do it, if Cotto didn't do it, Thurman was in no position to do it. So it was a non-starter. That conversation was a non-starter in my opinion. Holy smokes, we are already at 8 o'clock. How did that happen? I was not looking at the time. All right, let me just get through some of these, and then we're going to go ahead and I did not know that it hit 8 o'clock. Let's see. Who is the best boxer, Canelo or Charlo? Who is a better boxer, Canelo or Charlo? I would say Canelo is a better boxer. He does a few more things, but that don't mean that he's going to win. Because it's not about who's the better boxer. It's about who's the better boxer that night. And it could be Jermell. It all depends. Canelo is the greatest fighter to ever live and lost to Floyd, yet Floyd is worshipped and overrated or whatever. I don't know, man. I don't know. All right, let's see. What did you say? Who Canelo ducked? That's one thing I definitely would say that Canelo, he definitely fights everybody. And if he fights Benavidez, he's literally, by all definitions, have fought every single person that people wanted him to fight. Literally. So that I do give Canelo, but also that you could give that to Floyd because he didn't duck anybody either. Like that narrative of him ducking was before he fought the people that they were saying he was ducking. Like I remember the radio interview that he had with that rapper. I remember that radio interview where he's like, "Why don't you fight Miguel Cotto?" I forgot the name of that guy. If anybody can remember his name, once y'all say the name, it's going to come right back. But he was a big boxing fan. He was a rapper. And then Floyd called in and they had a debate. He was like, "What about Mosley? What about Cotto? And man, you scared of Manny Pacquiao and this and that." And he ended up fighting all those people. So the whole narrative of him ducking was birthed before he fought those people that he ended up actually fighting. And then when he did fight them, people were still, creating excuses for him winning or why he won. I don't recall anyone saying Canelo was ducking anyone. Yeah, Canelo doesn't duck. He doesn't duck. And him signing with the PBC is even further proof that he doesn't. He's not a duck. He's not a duck. I was feeling a little, scared in the, what I'm saying? Like I was feeling a little worried when Canelo wasn't fighting Benavidez for a hot second. And he was over here talking about he's going to fight Bivol or he was going to fight Jermall or he was going to fight Badu Jack. I was a little worried, but when he signed with the PBC, I was like, all right, my man, you're doing the right thing. I see you missed it. I literally said on a different live here that I had Canelo winning that fight against Floyd. You had him winning the fight against Floyd before they fought. I hope you're not saying that you had him winning the fight. Okay, chill. He fought him at 152 catchweight. Fight night came in 165. First of all, the catchweight was 152 from a 154. On fight night, Canelo came in around 165. I kid you not. Go back and watch the fight. He rehydrated an insane amount. There was no restriction to how high. So if Floyd lost weight, Floyd weighed in at 150. He didn't even hit 152. So even on the scale, Canelo had 2 pounds over him. Canelo was normally hitting 154, 2 pounds. He needed to go 2 pounds below 154, which, by the way, his team said before they made the fight with Floyd, they said, listen, we'll do a catch weight for 152 if you're willing to fight us. And Floyd's team accepted that. They accepted that. So it was actually Canelo's team that put that on the table to secure the fight. They didn't put the 152. They didn't say, you got to come down to 152. And then he was like, yo, chill. No, I don't want to do that. They said, we'll do 152 to fight you. And they said, cool. All right. Under that stipulation, we'll do the fight. They were annoyed after the fact because when he's having to get down in weight and he's suffering and all that is bothering him. But he was normally making 154 like nothing. And then he went to 152 for Friday. But on Saturday, the dude ballooned up. ballooned up to an insane amount. And Floyd went from 150. He went from 150 to 149 or 148. Floyd lost weight. He lost weight. So Floyd was basically fighting a light heavyweight, right? Or he was basically not a light heavyweight. He was basically fighting whatever the 160, I forget. He was basically fighting a 165 pounder, right? As almost a welterweight. And not that he was a welterweight going up to that level. He was in the night of the fight. That was the weight discrepancy. And it didn't mean a thing. It didn't mean a thing. It didn't mean anything. It didn't mean nothing. Because Floyd completely outboxed Canelo Alvarez. All right, we're going to go ahead and end it. I'm so sorry, guys. We go live, though, every Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. I'm going to try to get to through more of these and stop talking so much. I know I rant a little bit too long. So yeah, I'm Friday. I'll do my best to just, to get in here and make sure I answer as many questions as possible. It got a little bit busy here. I wasn't used to this, but I do appreciate it though, 100%. I'm gonna get my cadence up. I'm gonna be more comfortable with getting all these comments in as we continue doing this. So episode 37 of Boxing Fanatico Live will be Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. It will actually be I'm completely off. But it will be the day that we know or don't know if Devin Haney will be fighting, that we know if Devin Haney will be fighting Shakur Stevenson. So Friday is an important live. So get here so we can talk about that situation, because that's a big situation that we need to talk about. I cannot wait to see what happens. But of course, is all love no matter what. Garcia is still love. I'm super open to debates here. I don't have no ill will towards nobody. No matter what anybody says in here, is all love. Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, 7 p.m. Eastern Time till 8 p.m. Or sometimes we get a little bit of overtime like today. And thank you so much. Let's end with the Michael Buffer. And please hit the like on your way out, guys. If you can, hit the like on your way out. But we're gonna end with the Michael Buffer, just to end it in a good note.
Ladies and gentlemen,
thank you so much, Michael Buffer. Thank you so much. Give him a few more horns, man. All right, guys. Peace out, man. Peace out. Thank you again, and we'll see you on Friday. Peace out, guys.